Friends, I want to talk about an important principle in Arabic drumming, especially in the classical genre. One thing about it, it's dealing with the tempo and how to keep a steady tempo. In Arabic, we have a word for it. We call it Mizan, M-I-Z-A-N, Mizan. The word itself, it means scale or weight. So there's something about when you play the sounds of on the drum, the rebecchi or frame drum, you are actually weighing your strokes. I hope you understand what that means. You're not just producing a sound, but you are producing a pressure in the sound when you play in with the metronome. So it's basically about the universal metronome, how cosmic metronome. If you tuck, 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 right? And then how to deal with it, let's say, in a wahda kabira beat. Let's say, tom, tuck, tuck, tom, tuck, tuck, tom, a stuck, tom, a stuck, a stuck. So you see my point? Just being with the metronome. Now, if you take out the metronome and just keep the internal pulse, here's your side as a drummer or dabat iqa, like rhythm corrector, that to be able to feel that pulse internally, not just because you are using the sounds of the drums. That helps you to construct it and hear it, but yet you're still internally relying on your own ability to carry that beat and internalize it. And if you remember, many times we speak about internalizing the beats, maqsoom, wahda, malfoof, sama'i, thaqil, sinkin, any of these beats. You play them on the drum, but without the drum, you still can recite them and memorize them first and then recite them. So you can achieve this place where you can hold the beat and hold the mizan. Keep the mizan straight, because there's something also essential to the older style of playing, and you will notice that when you research older recordings. The beat is not linear. It really fluctuates sometimes accordingly. They like to do that. The older Arabic, Turkish, Persian, all these places, you can go at on a linear speed for a while, but then you can also let go of that metronome and then space out. You can slow down, you can speed up. But so there's something about it with the drummer being able to feel that and play it and get that feel and provide it to the singers and the instrumentalists. Mostly it's with singers really like the old style, if you're familiar with Kulthum or Saleh Abdel Hayy or Zakaria Ahmed. Any of the older names, Abdul Wahab also, they used to abide by this. When they make the composition and they have the drummers play, they have to get someone who knows how to do the anchor. So this anchor is being able to do what we call the mizan. And the mizan requires you to internalize the beats as much as possible and use them. You can run this experiment with your fellow musicians, you know. You don't have to play the drum for them, but just keep humming, reciting the beat, or like just clap it and see how you are trying to keep that steady. You are trying to keep it alive by internalizing it. So I hope this makes sense so far. I will demonstrate a little bit on the dirbaki and the riq just to show you how what that means, and I'm going to use the wahda kabira as the main example. Okay, so wahda kabira, we're all familiar with it. I'm going to display it fully. So you see, my responsibility as a drummer is really to feel the spacing between the sounds. Boom, ka tak, ka boom, ka tak, boom, boom, ka tak, boom. And if you're noticing, I'm not using the rounding of the beat to keep my flow happening. I don't have to do always this. No, you know, I can cut off. Furthermore, I can just boom, tack, tack. See how I'm internally trying to keep with this tack, boom, a stuck, boom, a stuck, a stuck. I hope that makes sense so far, okay? So this is just a little bit on the dirbaki. And one more mention that goes to all the instruments. What really keeps you precise in this case when you play physically is your ability to have the ka sounds in place. When they fall in the right place and you are in control of your top hand, it becomes easy to mark the beat and keep that flow of the mizan, right? So if you have boom, ka tak, ka tak, ka boom, ka tak. And this is one reason I always try to ask people to really strengthen their left hand single ka to give you this marker and anchor also. You know, if you always depend on something like this, you might speed up without even noticing. So just sometimes you have to resort to lesser play. Boom, ka tak, ka tak, ka boom, ka tak, ka tak. See, I'm using the power of the hand to be steady and strong. Ka tak, ka tak, ka. So when I do more, Does that make sense? Okay, I'm gonna do some on the riq right now. Okay, same principle on the riq. So as you can see, this is the basic principle of Mizan. It takes a little bit of practice and paying attention and being mindful and aware of yourself, your inner pulse, not to get carried away with extra sounds to make up, for the beat to keep it up. No, just try to, again, internalize as much as possible, and that will help you. And another mention that this has been an issue from the time that Arabic and Turkish drumming, because of the drums, when it got introduced to the people here in the country to learn it, the principle of the mizan was not really emphasized upon a lot. I don't hear many percussion teachers who are traditional drummers talk about the mizan and try to understand it from a rhythmic theory, from a rhythmic point of view, not just playing on the drum. It's something you have to talk about and explain to people who want it. And this applies, of course, for everybody, not just the drummer. Because you're a drummer, you're carrying the beat and keeping the mizan, but at the same time, the fellow musicians and singers, they have to also abide by that, and you have to follow the sound of the riq, and hopefully you are able to keep that so they can keep flowing and really enjoying the music. So the idea of anchor, as I said, it was not emphasized on, so it showed later on in like non-traditional musicians who would play this traditional music. They keep going fast. They don't anchor. They don't know how to anchor exactly, and they keep speeding up. Part of it is this not being aware, or we're not told that you have to do that in order for you to keep the music, to get the real feel out of it, is when you actually able to anchor the beat itself. And again, from playing and or listening to recordings of traditional ensembles, especially the older ones, really, you can see that principle in action, and you see how joyous the music becomes and suspended. Like you're not bound to the ground. You're not just running after the beat. You're just hovering there, and you can speed up, you can slow down. There's no problem, but yet your mizan or weight and the pressure is still happening. And also to contribute, to making more pressure in the sounds of the beat overall, whether you play maqsoom, wahda, or sama'i, or anything. And in a way also, when you have longer counts like sama'i and more, it becomes more demanding to have that ear, to have the listening, so you can see the falling of the notes, so you can keep with the mizan and the shape of the beat itself. All right, I hope this was enough explanation. If you have any questions or thoughts and you'd like to comment, please do. Thank you very much.